Today we're in section 6.3, subtracting integers. We're on page 266 in our books. With subtracting integers, you're going to notice that it's very similar to adding integers. All right, our rules are the same. Same sign, add and keep. Different sign, how does it go? Subtract and take. Same sign, add and keep. Different sign, subtract and take. So let's look at what example 1 gives us. In example 1, it gives us couple problems to work. We have 2 minus 7, and negative 6 minus 8. Well, this should look familiar to what we did yesterday. We have to ask ourselves, do these numbers have same sign or different? What about the first one, same sign or different? Different. What do you think? Different. Different, because 2 is positive and 7 is negative, so I subtract them. What's 7 minus 2? 5. And how do I know if my answer is positive or negative? Largest number. 7 is bigger and 7 is negative, so I take the sign of my larger absolute value. What about the second one? Negative 6 minus 8. Same sign or different? Same sign. They're both negative, so what do I do? Add and keep that negative, so it's going to be negative 14. Negative 14. All right, now I want to talk for a minute about your double signs, because you've seen negative 6 minus 8 written negative 6 plus negative 8, right? Negative 6 plus negative 8. And did it change my answer? No, because I still can recognize that they're both negative, and my answer is still going to be negative 14. Here's what I want to start doing from here on out. We're not going to write it like this. If we ever see it written with a plus and negative, we're just going to write it subtracting, because we know that it's subtraction or it's negative. Okay, so we're not going to write it like that anymore. We want to get rid of the double signs. Now, while my answer is still the same with a plus and negative, when I am subtracting a negative, it changes my answer. So I have to get rid of my double sign. Here, it's going to make a difference whether I get the answer right or wrong. A double negative cancels and changes to a positive. It's almost like you take both negatives out and you replace it with a positive sign or a plus sign. All right, so instead of 12 minus negative 9, go ahead and write that in your notes. Write that in your notes, 12 minus negative 9. Instead of 12 minus negative 9, it becomes 12 plus 9. So I've taken my double negative and I've replaced it with a positive sign. And you see that changes my answer, because now 9's not negative anymore, it's positive, changes my answer. And what's 12 plus 9? Very good. Whoops. Equals 12 plus 9, which is 21. All right, now what if we had another one? Okay, so what do you see right off the bat? You see your, hold on, no. You have to get rid of your double signs before you ask yourself same sign or different. Got to get rid of those double signs. Now here's why it's called a double negative. Because there's no number in between the negative signs. Do you see that? Okay, so that's why I call it a double negative. Wherever there's a double negative, that's where I replace it with a positive. Notice that I did not change my negative 10. Negative 10 is unaffected. So the double negative doesn't just boom, like cancel out all my negatives. I only replace my double negative with a positive where it goes in the expression. Does that make sense? Yes, doesn't affect that negative 10. Now, what do I ask myself? Same sign or different. And what is it? Same. No, whoa. What? After I've canceled the double negative, I've got different signs. Guys, do not look at that first expression to solve. You have to change that double negative first, and then you can solve. It's different signs, so my answer is negative 5. Okay? So remember, get rid of your double signs first, then ask yourself same sign or different and solve like you normally do. Okay, let's do a couple practice. I want you to do numbers 1 through 4. Your turn now on the bottom of page 266. What's 4 minus 6?
Negative 2.
-2. All right, -2. Very good. What's number 2?
1.
Okay, very good. -7 plus 8. Did you change that double negative?
Yes.
Did you get 1?
Yes.
All right. What's -2 minus 1?
Negative 3.
-3. What's 15 minus -3? 18. Why did I? Oh, yeah. 18. 18, because that 3 changes to a positive. Who got them all? Anybody get all 4? Okay, good. Good. Anybody just miss 1? Okay, good. All right, in example 2 now, I'm going to use my rules for subtracting integers in a more real-world type situation. All right, so it says that the highest point in Asia is Mount Everest. Now, Mount Everest is the highest point just in Asia. It's the highest point in the world, actually. So they could have said in the world. But it's 8,850 meters. So go ahead and write that in your notes. Now, let me ask you this. If it's the highest point, is it positive or negative?
Positive.
It's positive because it's high. It's above sea level. Now, it says the shore of the Dead Sea, the lowest point in Asia, is about 410 meters below sea level. So how are you going to write 410 meters below? Yeah, you're going to write it as a negative. So now here's what it asks you. So we've written our 2 integers, but here's what it asks us. What is the difference between these elevations? Well, what operation is difference?
Negative.
It's a subtraction, so now I need another subtraction. And then I have to put 410 in parentheses to separate my double sign. So now what did I end up with? A double negative. What do I have to change it to? A positive. So rewrite your expression with a positive, and I want you to solve. What is 8850 plus 410? All right, 9,260 feet. Did you say feet? All right, and so here's what we're saying. That's the difference in elevation. To get from -410 to 0, I go 410, and then I go another 8,850. I have to add them together to find the total. All right, so I want you to do one similar. I want you to do number 5 on the bottom of page 267. I want you to do number 5, your turn now, on the bottom of page 267. All right, Alina, what did you write for your expression?
Positive 535. Subtraction sign, parentheses, -8.
All right, good. And then what'd you do with that double negative?
Change it to an addition sign.
Good. And what'd you get for your answer?
543 feet.
All right, awesome. Did you get that answer? 543 feet? All right, good job. Good job. Okay, one more example. Now we're finding the change in temperature. All right, in example 3, we're finding the change in temperature. And basically, this is what the example says, all right? It says in Fairfield, Montana on December 24th, so Christmas Eve, 1924, the air temperature dropped a record amount. Imagine this. At noon, the temperature was 63 degrees Fahrenheit, so you need like a light jacket. That's not bad, especially in Montana. Only 12 hours later, the temperature was -21 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's a lot. Okay, so here's what it's asking. Guys, quiet. Here's what it's asking. What was the change? What was the change in temperature? So here's how I figure it out. I go from what was the final temperature? -21. All right, and I need to subtract it from, or subtract the original start temperature from the end temperature. So -21 minus 63. And then same sign or different? Same. So I add and keep. So the temperature dropped 84 degrees Fahrenheit in just 12 hours. All right, so anyway, that's just... Obviously, it's a word problem, but that's what we're doing here is we're just finding the change in temperature. We start off by writing the end temperature and subtract it by the beginning temperature. All right, I want you to try number 6, your turn now on page 267. Number 6, your turn now. Okay, so what did you write for your expression? MJ, what did you write?
Okay, -32.
Whoa, was 32 negative?
Yes.
Nope.
No, 32 was positive.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. It's probably wrong now.
Yeah, so it's going to be 32 minus, what was my original?
12.
Negative 12. Change my double negative. 32 plus 12 gives me 44 degrees Fahrenheit. And is it positive or negative?
Positive.
It's positive. It increased. The temperature increased. 44 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, and if you understand that, that's everything you need to know for 6.3.